Hello friends, today's topic is about urea cycle energetics and regulation. Simple meaning of energetics means how much ATP is utilized and how much energy is generated from the particular metabolic pathway. So here urea cycle energetics means how many ATP is utilized and how many will be generated, as well as regulation of urea cycle that we will look in this video. So first of all, quick summary of urea cycle. Basically 5 reaction is occurring in the urea cycle with the help of enzyme CPS1, that is carbamyl phosphate synthetase 1, OTC, that is ornithine transcarbamylase, argininosuccinate synthetase. Here two enzymes which are belonging to the synthetase or ligase variety, CPS1, that is carbamyl phosphate synthetase 1, and argininosuccinate synthetase. So these two will utilize the ATP. So in detail we will look how many ATP is utilized. Fourth reaction, that is argininosuccinate lyase, which is breaking down this argininosuccinate, and last enzyme of urea cycle, that is arginase. These two are present in the mitochondria and these three are present in the cytoplasm. So in detail of this urea cycle with in relation to the energetics. So first enzyme, that is CPS1, which is helping to convert this ammonia plus carbon dioxide into the carbamyl phosphate with the help of ATP. But in this reaction you have to remember 2 ATP is needed. So total 2 high energy bond is utilized. Further, this carbamyl phosphate is converted into the citolin with the help of ornithine and enzyme, that is OTC, ornithine transcarbamylase. Now here there is a no ATP is involved, but third reaction. In this third reaction, what happens? Citolin, which is generated inside the mitochondria, that is going outside of the mitochondria inside the cytoplasm. Now inside the cytoplasm, citolin combine with the aspartate and making a argininosuccinate. Here enzyme, that is argininosuccinate synthetase. Again that ATP is needed. So here ATP is converted into the AMP, means 2 high energy bond is utilized. So total 2 high energy bond in a first reaction and 2 high energy bond in a third reaction, and means first and third reaction which is involving enzyme synthetase, where total 2 plus 2 4 high energy bond is utilized. Further, this argininosuccinate will be converted into the arginine plus fumarate, from the arginine with the help of arginase enzyme, and finally urea molecule is generated and ornithine is getting back. So here totally in this urea cycle, first reaction and third reaction which is utilizing total 2 plus 2 4 high energy bond is utilized. Now here totally we are saying that totally energy is utilized, but in this reaction there is a one more molecule, that is fumarate is generated. Now this fumarate is one of the intermediate of the TCA cycle, and TCA cycle is the main pathway for the generation of the ATP inside our body. Now this fumarate which is generated going back into the TCA cycle. So fumarate to, there is a particular fumarate is mostly diverted to inside the mitochondria. Inside the mitochondria this fumarate will enter in a TCA cycle. So fumarate will be converted into the malate. Now this malate that will be further converted to the oxaloacetate inside the TCA cycle, and during this reaction this important ATP generation is occurring, that we will look. This oxaloacetate generation is also utilized for the regeneration of the aspartate, which can be utilized for the further urea cycle. So urea cycle is already called the urea bicycle, that already you are knowing. Urea cycle, in the first and third step you are knowing that synthetase enzyme is present. So first step there is a 2 ATP is needed. Third step there is a ATP is converted into the AMP. So 2 plus 2 total 4 high energy bond is utilized. But whenever this fumarate is generated, that is going back into the TCA cycle, and during this step what happens, there is a particular NADH is generated. This NADH is generated and that can be diverted to the electron transport chain, and from that one molecule of NADH 2.5 ATP is generated. So these two steps, first step and third step, that is lead to the utilization of ATP, means total 2 plus 2 4 high energy bond is utilized. So that is called expenditure. In the first step 2 ATP is converted into the 2 ADP. Third step to 1 ATP that is converted into the AMP level, means 2 high energy bond. Total 4 ATP is utilized for a urea cycle. But along with this urea cycle, that fumarate is generated from the aspartate, and this fumarate when it is diverted into a TCA cycle, that is generating one NADH, and from that one NADH 2.5 ATP is regenerated. So 4 ATP is utilized, but 2.5 ATP is regenerated from the TCA cycle. So total 4 minus 2.5 means 1.5 ATP is utilized for a one urea molecule formation. So you have to remember that energetics of the urea cycle, for the formation of one urea molecule total 1.5 ATP is needed. So in the first step there is a 2 ATP. In the third step ATP is converted to the AMP level, but whatever the fume rate is generated in the urea cycle is diverted to the TCA cycle. From the TCA cycle, NADH molecule is generated from malate to oxaloacetate, and this NADH is generating 2.5 ATP. So 4 minus 2.5, total 1.5 ATP is required for a 1 urea molecule formation. So that is about the energetics. Next thing is about the urea cycle regulation. So here it is also divided in a coarse regulation and fine regulation. Simple, urea is the end product of the protein metabolism. So whenever the protein metabolism is increased in our body, that all over urea cycle formation will be increased. So during starvation, what happens? Activity of urea cycle is elevated, because during starvation, for the energy generation or for the glucose molecule formation, protein molecule will be utilized. So protein will be degraded, and from that amino acid is separated, which can be utilized for the gluconeogenesis. All over protein catabolism is seen, and that will lead to the increased elevation or overall elevation of the urea cycle enzyme, and urea cycle or urea formation is increased in the starvation. Second, that is fine regulation. Here the main enzyme of urea cycle, that is CPS1, that is regulated or allosterically regulated with the N-acetyl glutamate. So major regulatory enzyme of urea cycle, that is CPS1, carbamyl phosphate synthetase 1, which is under the control of N-acetyl glutamate, and this will stimulate the further reaction of the CPS1. So CPS1, you have to remember that allosteric regulator, that is N-acetyl glutamate. Now this N-acetyl glutamate is generated with the help of glutamate, or means glutamic acid amino acid plus acetyl CoA. So whenever the all over glutamic acid level is increased, that will lead to the more ammonia generation. Also that will forming N-acetyl glutamate, and overall activity of CPS1 is increased. Further, this N-acetyl glutamate, which is formed with the help of enzyme N-acetyl glutamate synthase, but this enzyme is also further activated with the help of arginine. So whenever the arginine level is increased or the glutamate level is increased in the body, that will lead to the further activation or elevation of all enzymes of the urea cycle. Now in urea cycle, we have seen that initial two enzymes CPS1 and OTC, that is present in the mitochondria, while race 3 enzyme, which are starting from the A, means argininosuccinate synthetase, argininosuccinate lyase, and arginase, are present in the cytoplasm. Now this compartmentalization is also very helpful, because fumarate that can inhibit particular argininosuccinate lyase enzyme, which is forming that fumarate, but fumarate is mostly present inside the mitochondria, but this argininosuccinate lyase enzyme is present in the cytoplasm. So this compartmentalization is also helping to prevent this feedback inhibition effect of the fumarate. So that all are considered as a urea cycle regulation. Coarse regulation by this protein catabolism, fine regulation by the CPS1 under the effect of NAG. NAG is further under effect of the arginine, and this compartmentalization, which is also helping to prevent this feedback inhibition effect of the fumarate. So that's all about the urea cycle regulation as well as energetics.